Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining me for night three. Our topic tonight is coping with loneliness and holiday triggers. We're going to talk about grief waves, sudden sadness, and how to get through the hardest moments. And we're going to try to find what it is that triggers us and activates us so that we can find peace so that we can find some peace during the holidays. And a lot of people have certain things, activities, events. Sometimes it's smells or a song that trigger us or activate us and just throw us right back into that very first day, is how it feels for us sometimes. So, thank you everybody for joining me. My name is Dawn Patterson. I am the Wise Widow, and I am a certified grief educator, and I am here to help widows and widowers get through their grief journey. I've been through that journey. I am still on that journey. That journey never ends. That journey continues forever. We just learn to live around it. We learn to live our lives around that grief. We learn how to cope. We learn coping strategies and skills, and that is what the Wise Widow is all about. That is why I created it. So, tonight we are going to talk about coping with loneliness and all the holiday triggers that come with it. And if you have ever felt lonely in a crowded room, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. And I have had that feeling more than once in my life, that even with my own family, that we've all been together and it just sometimes seems like everybody is coupled up and we feel alone. We feel so alone and we feel empty. And this room is full of people, but we're still alone. And we suddenly are overwhelmed sometimes just with that loneliness. Sometimes there's other triggers. There's songs, there's scents, and then there's just memories. There might be something that pops into our head, or we might see another person if we are in a crowded room, that it brings up memories from the past, that maybe that person was a very, very good friend of our spouse. And so it triggers our emotion of missing our person. And I think every single one of us that is here tonight has probably felt that sting at one point or another. So the triggering in widowhood, it isn't just about being alone. That isn't all that triggers us. It's the ache of missing the one person who stood in our world. They were our person. They were our go-to person. All the little things that we wanted to do in life or make decisions or whatever, a lot of us went to that person. They helped us make those decisions. Sometimes we already knew what we were going to do in our heart and in our mind, but we would talk to our partner just to get a little bit of validation that, yeah, I'm making the right choice. I'm making the right decision. And it goes far beyond the absence of just that other body. It's the absence that it's your person. It's the one who understood your moods without you having to explain. They knew your routines inside and out. They knew your history. They helped you make your history. All our little quirks and our fears and our dreams. Our person knew that. It's the loss of being known so deeply and effortlessly by another person. And it triggers that grief. It throws us right back down into that rabbit hole. This kind of loneliness doesn't disappear when we're surrounded by other people. Thus comes the cliche, have you ever felt alone in a crowded room? The holidays often makes that loneliness feel even stronger or sharper. You can be in a room full of family and friends and acquaintances, and everybody's laughing, and there's so much activity. And we just get this wash of profound loneliness. And we need to work through that. Because the loneliness isn't just about presence, it's about connection. And our deepest connection is no longer physically standing there beside us. Sometimes we'll feel invisible in a crowded room. You just feel like you're being overlooked or minimized. And people sometimes avoid talking about our partners because it makes them uncomfortable or they feel awkward. Or they might just assume that we're doing okay, that we're fine. Oh, it's been a year, it's been 5 years, or it's been 10 years. They should be fine by now. That is how society thinks. And it's not reality. It makes us feel very unseen. And we need to be witnessed. We need to feel like we're a part of it and that we are understood. We want to feel understood. We want to be witnessed. We want our story witnessed. And we feel that difference in everyone else. And the holidays highlights that contrast between our internal self and our internal world and the external one that is surrounding us physically. Others can be celebrating, planning, connecting, feeling joy. And we're still stuck in this grief, struggling and trying to make it through each day. And we just sometimes feel like we don't fit in anywhere. And the wise widow is created so that we can get together and we can talk about that and we can feel that together. Because sometimes it's very, very difficult to be able to get through that alone because nobody understands it. Oh, we have people that give us advice and tell us how we're going to feel, but that's not our reality. We just feel like we don't fit in. But at the Wise Widow, we all fit in. We all fit in our own unique ways. And we can witness each other. We want to be included, but sometimes we fear if we go to certain things that we're just going to break down. So sometimes we avoid going to things. We want to be invited to some things, and some things we're not invited to. We live in a very unique world, depending on the people that we're around, and it triggers our emotions. Sometimes we think we should be invited to something, and some of those people overlook us. And sometimes it's our families. And it's a hard pill to swallow. Sometimes we avoid going to these things altogether because we're afraid of something activating our grief or throwing us into that very subdued place that we're feeling very alone and sad. Maybe we're afraid that a song or a memory or a phrase that someone says is just going to make being there unbearable. Or maybe we're afraid that we're going to be a burden to others or that we're going to be judged for showing emotion. The judgment thing is a very, very difficult thing for us to wrap our heads around as widows and widowers. Because only other widows and widowers understand it. Even some widows and widowers don't understand it. Some are like, well, my husband's been gone for years and I'm fine. I don't know why this person isn't. And it's because your grief is unique to you. Here is a little bit of grace that I'm going to give you to reassure you, wherever you are in your grief journey, however you are feeling, allow it. Allow it. It has to be validated. You have to let your feelings and your emotions be who you are, because pretending gets old fast. And it's really hard for us to be able to heal and be able to live around our grief if we're not being real to ourselves, if we're always pretending we're okay. So, like I have said before, and I'm going to say it again, what other people think is none of our business. As hard as it is for us, and I tell you, I've had moments of my own, and probably every one of you can say the same thing. I have been at different gatherings that I have felt that someone has been judging me. We have to learn. You need to train yourself and teach yourself to be able to turn your back, walk away, and say, that is not my issue. I had a friend that used to tell me about things, and she used to say, if it was somebody else's issue, she'd say, well, that's an issue, not an ish me. And I've lived by that for a very long time, and I've brought it into my grief journey. That if it's not an ish me, it's none of my business, and let it be their issue. Sometimes we feel so disconnected at gatherings. We're surrounded by people that we love, but sometimes it feels distant, or we're trying to overprotect ourselves. Or sometimes we could have a family member or a friend that's trying to be overprotective of us in our grief. And then it makes us feel even that more awkward, because it's like, okay, I don't need that much of a shield. Some conversations with people feel really, really shallow because they don't know what to say. Some traditions at Christmas time could be more painful to us than they are comforting. So some of those things we might have to explain to family members that were around if we're around family during Christmas. Because some of those traditions, maybe they need to go by the wayside for a year or two. Maybe they'll be brought back. Maybe they won't be brought back at all. And you're going to make new traditions. You may find yourself drifting in and out of different emotions as you're watching other people celebrate from afar, just not knowing where you belong. So the loss of your partner can mean the loss of your role in your life or in your family. That you're no longer a wife or a husband, whatever your position is, whether you're a widow or widower. You're no longer a we. You are there alone as a me. And the holiday traditions that you built together can sometimes collapse. And the family structure shifts because your partner isn't there anymore. And now your identity has changed because you don't have that special person. And this can be very unnerving and leave you feeling very unsure of where you fit in and how to even participate when you try to navigate this. Because you're used to navigating it as a pair. And if somebody says something or does something, you always have your partner that you could talk this out with after. And you don't always have that anymore. For some people, to meditate or to journal and write out as though you are talking to your partner helps to get it out. Some people hate journaling. So if you are not a person that likes to journal, don't journal. Maybe you're a person that you need to sit and talk to that empty chair and visualize your partner in that chair and have that conversation and be able to talk through those triggers or activators. Sometimes a scent will bring a memory. Some widows and widowers, some widowers will go and buy their wife's favorite perfume and still spray it because they want that scent. Other people don't because it makes them sad. For some, they had some favorite music that they would play. Maybe some favorite Christmas music, or in other events of the year, it was other songs. That was our song. And they just can't listen to it anymore. And other people listen to it all the time on repeat because it's comforting. Allow yourself to either cut it off or embrace it. Whatever it is that you need to do to help yourself through those activating moments. Was there a Christmas movie that the two of you like to watch together every year? Was there something at Christmas that you did together? Maybe you wrapped presents together. Maybe you trimmed the tree together. Maybe you had your own jobs. We like to call it the pink jobs and the blue jobs. Some people don't do that. Some people say his and hers. Some people, whatever your lingo was, that's what works for you. And you're allowed to still have that. But what triggers you and what activates those emotions is, okay, I've done all my jobs. Who's going to do my partner's jobs? And sometimes it's hard for us to pick up those pieces and do those jobs. And I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes some of those jobs just don't get done. And they don't have to get done. Because it's not going to be the end of the world if there's something that your partner specifically did that was his or her job during the Christmas season and you cannot bring yourself to do it, then I guess it doesn't get done. Maybe there's certain decorations now. Maybe you got a few ornaments in memory of your partner that you put on the tree now. Maybe you don't even put a tree up because it's too hard for you. And that's okay. You don't have to. Maybe there were certain dishes that you used to make together, or maybe there was a certain dish that they made that you didn't even know how to make. And that was a tradition. If there's certain things that you cannot do, don't force yourself. Don't put yourself through that pain and agony. Some people like to sit and look at old photos during the holiday season because it gives them comfort. Other people, it could be several years and they still cannot make themselves look at pictures. And if you cannot look at pictures, that's okay. Allow yourself to get through your triggers and through your activators of what you need to do. Some families have Christmas stockings that they put up, or specific ornaments that was each person's ornaments. Maybe you continue to put that Christmas stocking up. Maybe you don't want it up anymore. Maybe it's too difficult for you. You're human. You are allowed your emotions. The triggers and the activators do not mean you are going backwards or that you are weak. You're not failing. You are thriving. And yes, there's going to be road bumps. There's going to be lots of them, and they can last many, many years. Honor them, embrace them, and allow yourself to take a few steps backwards sometimes. It means that you're human. And it means that you are allowing yourself to grieve enough to heal. Because every time we have a trigger or we have an activator that hurts us, every time that we have to pull ourselves back up out of that, we do it a little bit stronger, maybe a little bit faster. Maybe we get through it just a little bit better. Be tender with yourself and be honest with yourself. In a season that everything is loud, all the celebrating and every store and street lights have lights on them, your love for your partner is still inside you. And allow yourself, witness it, and be honest with yourself. For those of you that got the workbook that I emailed, if you signed up with me through email, you might want to get that out. We're going to talk a little bit about that, or maybe it's activities that you want to work with on your own. But we're going to talk a little bit about some of that now. So if you want to take your workbook out, great. If you just want to listen to me, that's okay too. I want you to think about one thing in particular. What is the thing that has triggered or activated your grief the most lately? Can you put your thumb on it? Can you actually identify it? Do you know what brought it up? And what emotions did it bring up? Try to identify what that trigger is. After losing your partner, there's a lot of things that are going on. With the loneliness and the empty space, and we talk about that a lot. But then there's all those little trigger things that I have talked about, the little activators that show up. We need to talk it out. And at the Wise Widow, if you sign up with me to do some one-on-one sessions with me, we get in a little bit deeper. And I ask a little more questions, and I do kind of a deep dive to clear some of this up and help you get through it. And we want to try to find out what has started it and how to get to the bottom of it. Where does it begin? Because sometimes we don't go deep enough because we're afraid of that pain and we're afraid of that hurt. But sometimes to be able to dig deep enough to find out exactly where that trigger is coming from helps us to resolve it. Some of the memories are so difficult. So we want to think about what is making them surface. Can you identify a sound, a smell, a song, a certain activity, or an object? What makes it surface? We want to start identifying it. We want to identify what song is it that so many songs can be playing in the background and all these a certain song and we just feel like a shock in our chest, in our heart. Or is there a certain Christmas scent? Is it a certain baking? Or is it the smell of a Christmas tree, the pine? Or is it simply that empty chair? Is it seeing other couples walking down the mall hand in hand, laughing? Or you overhear somebody say to their partner, "Oh, look at this sweater. Do you think so and so would like this?" And you don't have that partner to ask that of anymore. Is it certain ornaments that you take out of your Christmas bin when you go to maybe put a few decorations up, and that certain ornament or decoration is like a gut punch? Or did you love sitting and watching Christmas movies together? Or was there a certain movie? Find and identify what it is, list it, and then talk to it. Why are you making me sad? What is it about you that is causing me this pain? Is there something that has triggered you that it surprised you when it triggered you? Can you identify that? Or is there things that you thought would trigger you and they really didn't? How does your body respond? What happens? What happens when these things just come up and basically punch you in the face? How does your body react? Are you all of a sudden so exhausted you can hardly get up and you need to stay in bed? Or do you have a nervous energy that you can't sit still? Or have you plummeted back into a brain fog that you can't even think? You can't remember. What is it that your body is doing to you when that happens? Whatever it is, do not look at it as a setback. It's not a setback. It is a response to the pain, to the grief. Witness it and allow it. Don't suppress it, because when you suppress it, you're just burying it and it's never going to get resolved. Do you feel a rush of emotion or you can't quit crying? Or does your body go back to just being numb that you just feel like you're walking around in a daze? Or do you get angry? What are you angry about? Remember when I said anger is not an emotion unto itself? What created that anger or that panic? And what does it do to you? Try to start understanding the physical and emotional reactions, and that'll help you navigate around some of those triggers and activators. And be gentle with yourself. Don't beat yourself up going, "Well, here I go again. I don't know what's wrong with me." I know what's wrong with you. You're in grief. That's what's wrong with you. You are allowed. It's okay. Have some compassion for yourself. What if there is something? Maybe it would take a lot to figure out. But is there some way or something that you can do that would make you feel safe or help you subdue these triggers, help you to smooth things out and get your emotions back? For some people, is it meditation? Is it doing some type of grounding technique? Is it reaching out to somebody that you can talk to? Is there someone you trust Is there someone that you can talk to? Is it talking to me because all the people you know don't understand? Is it reaching out to me and saying, Dawn, can you help me? Or is it some breathing exercises that help you? Or do you need to light a candle? Do you need to journal? For some people, it's movement. Maybe some people do some yoga. Through working with people one-on-one in my programs, these are the things I work on with people. I work on triggers and activators, and we get to the bottom of it, of what is causing it. And then I work with people to figure out how to heal it, how to release it, how to not make these certain objects or scents, smells, whatever it is, not feel like it's falling on us like a ton of bricks. There's tools and strategies to get around that, and I will work with you. Do you need to sit down or work with me for us to create a support plan? In these moments that you're being activated, for some people, it's like earth shattering. Do we need to make a support plan so that you feel safe? For the moments that you don't feel like you can reach out and ask anyone for help, do you need to have a support plan in place? Is there certain people that create your support plan? Is there certain activities? So that's what I'm talking about. To completely protect yourself from some of the triggers and activators, do you need to set up some boundaries? Are there certain things that happen? Or are there certain people that maybe you need to steer clear of? Or do you just need to choose the quiet over the chaos? What traditions do you need to keep up, and what ones do you maybe need to release or change? Maybe there's some affirmations that you need to write to help you cope with the loneliness and the triggers, and learn how to use some affirmations to give yourself that strength and that bravery to get through some of these holiday triggers and activators. When grief hits us like a wave, can you imagine surfing it? That you can get over the top of it? Can you imagine yourself breathing through it instead of fighting it? Or are there things that you can work through them with different techniques to anchor yourself and make yourself strong? Maybe there's things that you need to be able to touch or hear or smell or taste when you are being activated or triggered, that you can go and touch and bring yourself back. I'm going to show you something that I have. I have this big crystal heart, and there's lots of times that I just hold on to it and I rub it and roll it in my hands. And for some reason, it gives me strength. Is it because it's a heart and I feel like it's connecting me to Daryl? Is it because it's smooth? Is it the texture? I don't know what it is, but I like it. I use this a lot. Maybe you need to find something. Maybe for some people, what their comfort is, some people say, I have to get my person's perfume or cologne and I spray it on a old t-shirt of theirs. And then I can smell it and it gives me comfort and it just helps me to work through that trigger. Is there something that can anchor you? Is there, I'm not telling you to comfort eat, but is there a taste? Is there something that can just, oh, this is a comfort food? Have a cup of tea. Do I need a cup of tea? Does that soothe me? Do you have a special friend or a sibling, an SOS buddy that you could just reach out and say, I'm having a moment? And they don't mind when you do that. I don't need you to say anything. Can you just sit with me? We don't want to walk through these triggers alone. They are so difficult to walk through alone. I want to do a little exercise with everyone tonight. I want you to sit back and I want you to relax. And I want you to close your eyes and I want you to imagine a bunch of bubbles floating around in the air, floating down from the sky. They can be bright white or gold, or these bubbles could be colorful, or maybe they're your favorite color or your partner's favorite color. But imagine all these bubbles floating around you. Just let the bubbles float and feel the peace. I want you to start thinking about some of the triggers or activators, the things that make you feel sad or things that make you anxious. And I want you to put one thing at a time, even name it out loud, and put that thing in a bubble and either blow it away, or after you put it in there, pop that bubble and make that trigger and activator disappear. Pop that bubble or blow it away or let it slink down and pop on the ground and step on it. Whatever you can do, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to be able to think about a few of your activators, and I want you to just work through them in those bubbles and allow yourself to do that. Just close your eyes. Okay. Slowly open your eyes and come back. This is an exercise you can do at any time, whenever you feel like it, whenever you need to. I want to thank you all for sharing this space with me tonight. And tomorrow we're going to shift into something a little more gentle and hopefully a little more hopeful. Tomorrow we're going to talk about some new traditions and honoring our partner. But we're also going to touch on some family dynamics because family dynamics play a huge part in our grief, and they play an even bigger part during the holiday season. So, tomorrow I'm going to ask you to bring a couple of little things with you. I want you to have, for a little thing that I'm going to do at the end tomorrow, I always seem to do some little thing. Bring a little candle or even a battery operated candle, just a little candle that you can have to burn just for our closing. Or bring a little piece of something, even a memory, or maybe you have something that you hold on to. I still to this day, I wear this around my neck, my husband's wedding ring. Sometimes I hold it, I stick my finger through it, I put my thumb through it, or I have my heart. Bring something that you can hold on to and have a candle. And tomorrow, we're going to start talking about some old traditions, some new traditions, honoring our partner, maybe honoring a feeling that you have, and a little bit with the family dynamics. So, thank you so much for being with me today. It's been great. And I thank you and I send you blessings and peace. And if you want to turn your cameras on and wave goodbye or say hello and goodbye to each other, I welcome you to do that. And I will bid you good night. And I hope I will see everybody back tomorrow. Thank you
Good
so
night,
much.
everyone. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.